the coordinator. No, that's for the 3-day, what do you call them, preceptor. Come in for a preceptor, for consultant for 3 days, preferably. So there's not a day that doesn't go by here without an emergency. 2 weeks, no more, that's all. He is to be licensed. He will not come. Our pharmacist will not come, and our doctor will not come.
This is what I have down here. Only thing we'll consider is Larry going on 2 weeks.
And I'd say 3 days, as was suggested to us. We're tired of broken promises. We've known that from the history of black origin and Indian origin. We're tired of broken promises. So that's our problem. We're not going anywhere. We will continue to function, and we're not going anywhere. Anyone that comes here, of course, the implication will be very strong.
Most of this is board.
They come in here at their own risk.
Most of this is board.
I think so. Dana out. Is Dana out, please? Not her, not Dana. She's not got a problem. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. When I put my life on the line for the last time, there's 2 children that are in this crisis. Griffiths is a grandmother.
It's an employer's bond concern.
All I can do, I just don't know what to say at this point. I appreciate everybody calling there. One more, I do need to call to this. When we ever have full church capability, that's like, big man, we gotta call them more so far.
By knowing about the news story last night, please, one of the secretaries come here quickly so I can get on with this business. Shift, please. At this stage, though we've come through every white night, and I found a way through every white night, a white day or whatever, I don't think we should think in those terms. I think we should use our practical wit. We should depend upon it. That is a matter with the Attorney General, which I'm sure I can resolve, but it's a serious situation. If we put our wits together, anything can be resolved. But we're going to have to use our wit, and a lot of it, and that doesn't mean that we someplace won't face death. Now, my decision at this stage is that if I get backing from the Attorney General, if I get backing from the Attorney General, this is my decision. I've already discussed it. Leaving it, of course, up to the family. That I personally will see that they don't suffer anymore. And I shall, because I'll be charged no matter what does it. I'm not turning a child, Dana, her grandmother doesn't want it. I'm not turning these children over to people who want to use them. Griffith reared her child, Mother Griffith reared her child from baby. Her daughter's a prostitute and dope pushing. All these people are in crime, or they're involved in Trotskyite violent terrorist plans. Some of them made ammunition, like Jim Cobb, Mike Cartmel. They made ammunition, and we're going to blow up. I've forgotten one of them. They were going to blow up one building in what was some of the shit they were going to do. They're going to blow up a dam, but they're going to blow up something in locally in Masonite. They're going to blow up Masonite Corporation for whatever hell I wandered onto it. Somebody, no doubt, one of these people probably been provocateur. You have to be crazy to talk about blowing up Masonite. Masonite doesn't have anything to do with capitalism. So somebody in this mess is a provocateur. I'm sure Roller, being formerly her CIA connection, would no, it don't make a goddamn bit of sense. You don't go blowing up a Masonite company. What they got to do with the war effort? Well, that was what they had in mind, and we're going to have a news conference here later. If things go along within reason, we'll have a news conference in which all these relatives that are demanded to be returned. Now, you see, legally they can't make anybody go anywhere, except they put so much pressure on this country with no lights and no water and no means of using their generators, and some out of fear would bow. We're in a very difficult situation for a white knight. No use to kid you. We're in a difficult situation because the Prime Minister is in Russia, and some of his own party is unhappy with him being there. The Foreign Minister's in Russia. You better wake up now, by God, because we're going to have to get down to some serious talk. Now, my decision was and is that if I don't resolve the Attorney General situation, which I have always resolved every situation and likely will, but I don't know anything about counting on whatever I can do which I don't understand in the metaphysical. My decision is that I will personally see that John does not suffer or be made a pawn to go back, as we have information that he be deprogrammed and that his mind be taken and used by their evil means and whatever chemicals to try to drain his mind, and that Dana be taken over by a prostitute and a drug pusher. I will take care of those two. Then I will go out through the jungle if the rest of you decide to stay, and I will go and take care of some of these enemies. I'll slip through and then die someplace. If I don't, I've got some connections in Central America. I won't mention here, but I can get some dictator along the way, or I can go on in the United States, and I'm sure I can get that and get somebody. Get somebodies. Now, that's what you have to decide what you're going to do. I made up my decision. I live with death every goddamn day. You can't live with life unless you live with death. The only reason I've guaranteed you the life you have to this moment is because I've lived with death every day and face it as a reality. Anybody that says they're revolutionary and believes, even if you believe in nothing more than maintaining, saving your own children, if you're not prepared to die for your children, you will not stand up for your children. At some point, you will sacrifice your children. You have to make that commitment. If it's for a companion or for children, then it should be for children. Companions ought to be able to take care of themselves. But every parent should say, I will die for my children. And you all said that. You've heard it said. Nobody gets excited about that. They don't call you crazy for that. Well, I'm saying I will die for all the children of the world. I will die for this communist collective, and I will die for principle. And I'd say it every day if I get lucky enough to go to bed, which I didn't last night because shit was breaking in San Francisco. I had all kinds of shit. In case of personal shit real early in the morning, also late, almost dawn. So I had, I mean local shit. Somebody's stirring up some shit. So I have had no rest, and I've got my wits at control. Now, if you want to continue, I can put it in Mother's charge, and I can go on, and that way you can perhaps save the collective. Because if anyone else took care of John and Dana, I'll be charged anyway. They'll make me, and the attorney knows that, I'll be the one that'll be charged with conspiracy, and the heat will come on you. And I do not intend to let them take these two children. I do not. Now, they cannot by law, and if Guyana is able to withstand them, and if the Russians can get through quickly enough with enough support, there's no way they can take them by law. At this stage, no way they can take them by law, unless they just the United States boycotts them like they did Cuba, and with their government leaders out of the country again. They caught us. And the worst of the white night was when the government leaders were out of the country. The Prime Minister's in Russia. Even some of his law partner does not like that he's in Russia. They don't like him getting that close to communist, and there is some internal difficulty. We do not know all the whys and wherefores, but there was an attempt evidently to put through a constitutional referendum today, or to vote on a constitution that is definitely dictatorial, because the former Prime Minister Jagan, head of the PPP, the Progressive People's Party, walked out. He not only walked out, he threw his parliamentary desk over and tore his papers off of the desk and slammed them down on the floor and stomped out. Said he would not be a part of any kind of a fascist constitutional move. So I don't know what the hell's going on right now. At this point, I can't tell you. And I'm beyond the point of crying. I've gone through that hell, cried and went around and hugged each of you. I'm beyond that point. I'll hug you if it comes to that point. If I leave or you stay, whatever in the hell. But now we're going to have to get down to the situation of deciding what the hell we're going to do. Do I go and take care of Dana? Because they're not getting Dana unless Mrs. Griffith wants it. They're not getting John, that I'm sure of. They're not going to use him as a pawn. And they're all, you heard, did you hear all over the radio, the ones that gathered with the TVs on them and all the newspapers, and then throwed rocks after the, right, and the TV didn't bother to cover that in San Francisco, throwed rocks and other things into our parking lot and threatened to shoot our people. Did you hear all the people were involved in that? How many heard me earlier in the meeting? If you have any question, ask your neighbor, and you'll know all your cotton-picking relatives, and I didn't name some of them because I don't know them. And several of your relatives, nearly all of your goddamn relatives, had signed a petition. You that think you can trust your relatives, you be sure to ask us after meeting, and I think you'll decide differently. Because nearly every damn relative was in it. And they got a powerful backing. I wouldn't be surprised there's not a fascist coup in the making USA. Certainly there's a reactionary hold in elements of government. These fuckers wouldn't stand under our door. There's more to it than just a news copy. Stoen is a fucking coward. He wouldn't stand there. And if our people had the balls, Hugh Fortson made a mistake and went out and took their petition, I'd have thrown the petition in a goddamn face, hit the camera, shoved their asses off. Every man, woman, and child in San Francisco, if they'd done what they ought to, what I'd have done, I'd have tore that place up, and they'd have had no news conference on our church steps. And I'll bet you our ass had been left alone for a while. They have no business getting on our church steps. That's our property. They can't stand up on our fucking church steps and make a goddamn news conference. And then stand there and take a fucking... Looks weak. I don't know what's the matter with you that he'd take... I know what's the matter with you. I can tell you what the fuck's the matter with you. He's got a girlfriend here and his wife in town. Always. Every time, goddammit, every time you get in sex, these crazy sons of bitches lose their mind and all their intelligence, if they males have got any, goes to the goddamn balls. The biggest strategic mistake was that he walked out there and took that petition. He should never have taken that goddamn petition. And the camera's on him, and him showing his composure. A black man taking a petition from those renegades. Everybody in that church should have swarmed out there and thrown those sons of bitches off the steps. I mean, shoved them off. Mrs. Oliver and the Griffiths came in trying to kill Mother. They've barged into our church trying to kill them. So by God, they should have picked them up ball bats, brooms, and whatever in the hell else they could do, and drove their asses clear out to the street. But we got troubles. We got people back there in love. And that's trouble. It's trouble here also. All you that are in love, it's trouble. Because you'll always find in a moment of crisis. So I believe in companionship. Well, I don't. I'm going to be damn frank with you. I don't. I've seen 1 in 100 say, well, there may be an exception. By God, when you only got rare exceptions, you follow the rule rather than the exception. I watch all you moony-eyed, sick sons of bitches, and you sit here and listen to the women talk last night, but some of you didn't make an imprint. I talked to one today. And she was making apologies. Though she's not... Ah, damn it to hell, I'm telling you. Making apologies. I don't know what to do with you women. I'd just soon die. Shit, I'd just soon die. I was hurt. I'm going to tell you right off, Sister Johnson. I was hurt. I was hurt with you. Dr. Shack interested in you, and you said you feel sorry for Stanley. You don't know Stanley's background. You women always make apologies for these pricks. I'm going to tell you, though, you made me ready to die. I'm glad for you. I love you. I'd give my life. But I'm ready when a doctor's interested in you, and I'm ready for it. By God, I'm ready for death. When you women won't take freedom, when you got the goddamn freedom right in your fucking hand, I don't know what the hell to do with you. And good old Stanley, somebody feels sorry for him. Who in the fuck's gonna feel sorry for you? Why didn't he feel sorry for you while you were in town representing us? Why in the fuck didn't he feel sorry for you? Where your ass at, Stanley? Well, you better not get your nose up, because I'm sick of your ass too. You nearly got Marston killed trying to fight off the contract killers that were coming after you.
And, you know, I know you have something to say, but see, a lot of this shit would have been avoided if you'd held a strong line with Stanley way back when. You know, there are different ones of us that have jumped Stanley's ass, and Stanley has only gotten cockier because, like, you've given in to him, you've been assy when you've been confronted, and when you've been asked to confront him about his shit, you confront him about it. But the reason he acts a fool, a fucking fool, is because you give in to him, and it's the same attitude that prevails now that's made him a fool.
You're a beautiful woman. You ought to have some more pride in yourself. I want to be sure that I heard this right. Sandy was standing there. Is that what I heard her say? She felt sorry for his background and what she still felt for him and felt sorry for his background, what he'd gone through, all that shit.
I'm getting so tired of excuses being made for Stanley. By God, he's had chance after chance after chance. I've sat with him and given him chance after chance after chance.
You goddamn near got her killed. You goddamn near got her killed. And I still stood behind him and said the sons of bitches would have to come through our whole church to save you. And you feel sorry for him? Well, you sure made it. You didn't make it clear. When I stopped you, and what I'm saying, sweet, as much as I love you, I'd give my eyes for you. If you'd say that to me, what's really going on in your head? Because I was standing there and I said, here, you got a good deal. And I'm telling him, you got a good deal. A doctor, the straight A student, and you know what the fuck to do. You know what the fuck, you know which decision to do. And I told you and I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't pay no fucking attention to bodies. What the fuck bodies he got? What the fuck bodies any of us got? All that goddamn crazy shit. What is love? If love isn't I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die. Shit, I'm ready to die.
What do you have to say? What do you have to say?
You better mean it too. And when you say it, you better mean it.
What I had for the say, I was telling Sandy how I felt and what was the problem with me, but I was okay, like you said, alert, I was getting ready to talk to her, because she was, okay, the thing was,
all right, I'll let you go. I was in the middle of white night, and I stayed 5 minutes. The Attorney General, they said the Attorney General's coming after these two children, and I still spent 5 minutes, and I thought, my God, that I should have to explain this again. I said, yeah, I'll let Sandy explain. But honey, if you haven't got it now, you're never going to get it. If you haven't got it. And blow wind up his ass and even talk to him, give him any feeling. Any goddamn feeling. That his arrogance. Shit.
That's what I told you. I told you that even if you still had feelings for him, that he was going to always fuck over you as long as you...
And I want to know why you got feelings for him. I'd like to know what the fuck. And I'd die for you too. But one thing, he's not got any loyalty. Anybody would take off with a white woman and do that to a black woman. Nobody got any goddamn loyalty. No fucking loyalty. She wasn't even, she hadn't hardly got her ass out of here till you were laying down with somebody else.
As long as I can remember. You've been doing this as long as I can remember. You always been fucking with somebody else when you was with Janice. You've been doing this. You confronted a long time ago in L.A. He's been doing this. Every time you confront him, and later on you open his legs, you open your legs to him.
I say something, please. And each time I try to talk to Janice, she gets upset and moody and won't even speak to me. I told her you were a fool to stay with Stanley.
I am not staying with him. I decided to move out tonight. I already talked about it, and I told...
You mean you just...
You should have decided to move out, child. You should have kicked his ass, and he knows it. You should have kicked him in the balls the first time you saw him.
Ain't that right, Stanley? Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Stanley?
Hold it.
I'd also like to know why you think you've got to move out. Make him move out. My God.
In the future, you people fighting because I usually win these goddamn white nights. Will you please quit tearing up the clothes?
You don't move out, you make him move out.
You wait so long anyway. Why did you... I'd like to know why in the hell you sat up there like a fool. Look at me. Why did you sit up there and wait that damn long?
If I were you and I first got back and heard he was off with a white woman, I'd have kicked his ass and hers ass at the same time.
How in the hell do I know when you won't be loyal to a woman? How in the hell do I know what the fuck you're going to do on the front line when we're here facing a goddamn war? You don't ever talk. Nobody opens your mouth. What? You never have told us why those contract killers are after you. What did you do?
I don't know anything about it, Dad. About what it was for.
Why, you must have done something, goddammit, to break in and Marston had to meet him at the front door.
I was trying to think about it, what it's about, but I can't, recall anything about it. Deal with.
Of course, why would they come after you just because you're Huey Newton's nephew? They haven't killed his mother. They've discredited him and destroyed his organization, and his paper has gone completely destroyed. But why would they be after you? You've done something. I'll damn tell you, the gangland doesn't come after you unless you've done something. You crossed somebody, or you messed in somebody else's dope territory, or you fucked around somewhere, man. I'm going to tell you, you did something to have a contract killing on your head. Now, who in the hell's after you? What did you do? I hope it's good, but I doubt it. Did you ever do anything in the Panthers?
No, Dad.
Never helped the Panthers?
No,
Never
Dad.
helped Huey?
No, Dad.
Then what the hell did you do? I was afraid that would be the answer. What the hell did you do?
Run some dope or some shit?
I more ran the streets and.
Ran the streets, man. Ran the streets. What did you do? Whose market did you get in? Did you get on somebody's block and sell some dope?
I did a little of that, Dad.
Yeah, I thought so. Now, you tell me you don't know why somebody's hunting you. Shit. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I'm just as black as you, and I'd have starved to death before I ever pushed that shit on any of my black brothers or Indian brothers and sisters. I'd have starved to death, goddammit, before I did it. That's why I'm out of America today. That's why we're sitting here, ready for whatever. Because everybody sells out everybody. I'd have taken my children, my wife, and they'd have gone over the hill. And any friends that I had a loyalty or commitment to before I would push that shit or give drugs to my own black brothers and sisters and help the white man kill us.
I didn't know all this was going on. I swear, I didn't know he say that.
Well, why didn't you listen, honey? You were sitting here and hearing it. You heard me talk about him having a contract on his life. Love, I'll tell you, sweet, you don't listen. You goddamn people get your twat going, and it gets itchy, and the dick gets itchy, and you don't give a shit who you're laying up to. They can be a goddamn snake, and you still lay up next to them. Is it going out?
But the thing I was trying to say, I didn't know that he was out selling drugs. I mean, that's his.
Oh, you know now.
That's the whole thing, really.
He lies. He won't tell you nothing. You won't tell nothing till you're in the corner, Stanley. No matter how many times I save you, you have to get right in the goddamn corner before you tell us anything.
Really, Stanley, you've been a punk for so goddamn long. Dad got your ass out of jail. You lived in the church. You lived communally. You still would be smug, be messing around with young sisters, spilling on young sisters. And don't tell me you didn't, because we confronted you about that shit. You were messing around in the San Francisco temple.
Take that shirt off so they can sew the damn thing. I'm tired of this. No more clothes to be tore up here. You can teach without tearing up clothes that I got to replace. Because in spite of how dark this white night looks, shit, be our luck to come through it, as I always bring us through it.
And all I want to say is, you are a fool, a chump motherfucker. But a lot of it is due to your smugness, because from Jump City, like Ava said, when you got back from the jump, from Jonestown, you should have said, nigga, get going. You should have told him to get going.
You can go ahead, you that have to train those people for this goddamn news interview. And I think Donna Ponce ought to have some. Have you got her something for her too? Don't get Lois in it, because then she could be got on charge. She ought to say shit. Donna ought to speak for herself. Not that we give a shit about charges at this particular time. Just tell them, bring their ass off and make you people practice that until you can speak like it's from your gut. I'm demanding all you people when you get on that goddamn radio, you're holding the life of this whole place in the hand. I don't want no mealy mouth shit. I want you to speak like you got gut.
Janice, I want to say to you, you're lying.
Lois was she gonna make a statement? Lois is gonna make a statement? Lois is articulate, but I don't. Why can't that girl? Well, I guess she has to. She's underage. Huh? Okay. Well, Lois is articulate. She can speak. I just don't want to answer no questions. None of goddamn. I don't want none of answer the son of a bitchin' questions. But I want you people to speak from your gut. Put that table back out there where I can see it too. Get back off there where I can see it. You hear what I'm saying? Move right out of this section. I want this rehearsed. Goddamn place. I don't know why I fight. You I wasn't even beginning to think about crying over myself, but just now in a moment it hits me. I don't know what the fuck it is all about. What the fuck what the fuck some of us beating our asses off night and day, and you people won't even rise above your vaginas and your dicks.
Also, when you stood up here and you said, I'm going to leave, I'm going to take care of these 2 children, and I didn't see enough response out of you. Personally, I'm going to die when he dies. But the rest of you sat here and said nothing.
Don't you tell them what they're going to do. They're going to decide for themselves. It's their lives. Everybody ought to decide their own lives and quit having me decide it for them. Death is easy for me. All you people make it easy. I put a lot of faith in you. A lot of faith in you. All of you Johnson children have been strong. When it looked like your father was coming down on you and you said you'll stand here and die. What the hell is you stand here and die and put up with this shit? And then let him... No wonder you don't grow, Stanley. She don't make you grow. You ought to resent her as much as she resents you. She don't make you grow. You're a damn retard. You're like a little boy. You need a woman that made you hold the line.
See, one thing, if you had decided a long time ago, when you first got back, it wouldn't have been, well, Stanley deep in his mind thinking, well, see, now you're up in front of the crowd, and now you're being swayed by the crowd. If you decided yourself, it would have been coming from your own mind. The thing you need to do, and a lot of sisters need to do, is stand up on your own 2 feet.
I want to say to you, Janice, you're lying when you say you didn't know that Stanley was dealing in dope, because down over at San Francisco at 6:15, we caught you guys down there dealing in dope, and we called the church, and Jerome, Simon came, and they had that all squished up and never did hit the floor or anything. Thing about this, we were sitting on the porch, and it was Mary Ford. Okay, and she said that she smelled some marijuana outside, so she called the people down at the church. A lot of security came down. I didn't know a thing.
Why don't you recognize? If you look at Stanley, you know Stanley is into himself.
I'd say something, Janice. I know. Each time I look at me, you look at me. Each time I've tried to talk to you, you've always taken this type of attitude. I told you the other day that I never would have stayed with your daddy if I had known Dad. I told you I took a lot of shit. And you didn't have to take that kind of shit. But each time I want to talk to you straight, you pretend that you're tired, you're too busy, you don't want to talk to me. And you always pretend that you don't know. I'm just so out of it. I don't know what's happening. What's going on?
If you cut out the selective listening, you would know what's happening.
Did you not know that he was going to run from this place? Did you not know that until there's no place for him to run to because there's killers waiting on him? You were here. You had to know it.
Dad, I did, but the thing, I just didn't give a damn. He made me so mad.
Have you fucked him since?
Yeah.
You fucked him since?
Yes, Dad.
Okay. Then what the hell do you fuck? How the guy gonna know mad? How you gonna know he's mad when you're fucking him?
That's the truth.
Now please tell me, how's he gonna know you're mad while you're giving pussy to him?
The thing is, I just don't give a damn about him.
You ought to give a damn.
I don't give a damn about him.
Native Uganda, the ruler of
Last night, I was over in my loft, you guys in your loft. He spent about 6 hours talking to you, just talking shit really low, and you must have been listening to the shit he was talking, or you wouldn't have come up and told Dad about the shit you were apologizing for him and you felt sorry for him, because he must have talked you into it.
You better prove something to me, man. You better prove to me. What did you tell her? You better prove, because we got ways to know. You better tell me what you were talking to sweet shit, because we're in a land of emergency.
I was telling her how bad I felt about taking advantage of her.
Let's hear what you said. Then I'll ask for the what you really meant.
And you know how I was feeling guilty because I know she's a really beautiful sister, and she's I really, you know, I was telling her that I don't deserve her because, you know, I'm more, you know, I've been down fucking up a lot, you know.
Wow.
I've been, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And
if you didn't feel you deserved her, you wouldn't have been talking to her. Now tell us what you really meant. And you better talk straight, because I consider you right now a class enemy. All the people that have destroyed our young people, the CIA transporting the drugs that I gave you news right from Colombia to the U.S. white ambassador to dump in our ghettos, and you helped distribute some of that shit. I consider you a class enemy. Now you tell me really what you were saying to her before I tell you, because I know what you were saying to her. I don't mean the words. You said the right words, but what were you really trying to get her to get? You weren't good enough for her, that you felt sorry that you'd hurt her. What were you really trying to get achieved? What were you trying to get done in that loft? You goddamn people that won't look at your minds. If I hadn't looked at mine, where in the hell would this place be? Don't try no fucking games on me. What you were trying to do was to come on with a baby-fied talk and little boy play game and say, I'm sorry, so she won't go with that doctor and you get back in her nookie. Was that not right, sir? Is that not what you were really trying to get done?
That's true, Dad.
As plain as a nose on the face, and you're too damn bright not to see what the hell he was doing.
Do you see what Dad's saying?
Yes.
What did I say, sweetie?
You said the only reason he was talking all that bunk to me is because he was trying to get me to not go with Dr. Shackman so he could get up my pussy, that's all.
It's the same line. It's a line you hear all over this place. That line is so old, it's boring. I've heard that fucking line. Last time I heard it was Bruce Oliver. You sound just like Bruce Oliver. Now, that was the last case I know, and he's no exception. It's all through this place. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Just so I can get you cooled down, because you consider the woman an emotional animal. And if you get her under control, get her all cooled down, so you can fuck her next time she goes to Georgetown. I know you pricks.
Alone, you'd have walked out of her life and you'd have given her a chance.
Yes.
If you gave a damn for her, you'd have walked out of her life.
Yes. You wouldn't have come with no long song and dance. You'd have said, you'd have left it where it was. If you really were sorry that you hurt her, you'd let the doctor have her. Goddamn lucky the doctor's interested in her. I don't know what the shit the choice would be between you and the doctor. I can't imagine. I've criticized the doctor and hit him hard and jumped him on things, but I can't imagine. Works his schedule, his hours. Sure. Every one of you have been a burden to me. And I'll be goddamn if I can see the difference. I haven't had to watch his ass to work. He saved lives, and last night we had an emergency. Sure, there's miracles that I do. Every one of these mothers came here with improper medical care from the United States. That mother would have died just like the rest. Every baby's been born with. I don't know the choice. I don't know. I can't imagine you thinking twice. As I said to you, you got a lot of nerve. I told you there. I've had to crawl in bed with men and put up with shit for this cause. I've had to lay with women I hated till my skin crawled. And then you want to make the difference between what feels good to you? But I don't want to. I made up my mind. I ain't putting the doctor through that shit. He ain't going through that. I'm not setting him up, so I'm laying it all out, honey. And whatever you feel for him, that's your business. I don't know what you feel because you don't talk. So if you don't feel nothing for him, you don't feel nothing for him, you don't feel nothing for the doctor. Is that right? Because I ain't setting nobody up. I ain't doing it.
I do feel something for the doctor because, okay, last night when I was talking to him, he showed me sensitivity to me. Like every time I talk to him, ever since.
Now you're talking like an emancipated person.
He,
sensitivity. I think that would be mighty important to women who've been kicked in the ass every 5 seconds.
So like he even told me, why don't you just go on home because I know you're tired.
All right, pricks out there, you better get with it because Stanley's not the only prick in this town. We ought to cut the pricks off so we can have fried sausage tonight. It'd be better off.
Like, he said, once you go on home, I know you're tired. You're gonna have to get up early and work tomorrow morning, and I know I just let you go on home because I don't want to have to keep you up. And then, like last night, like
He talked 6 hours. That's a hell of a compliment. Talk 6 hours with the pressure on him. Whatever.
No.
He didn't want to take time. He didn't want to take her time. He wanted to get home and get rest. Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
He wanted to give you a chance. He wanted to give you a chance to rest. This prick talks all night to you and won't let you sleep.
yeah, he showed sensitivity. He was even being honest. He told me, exactly why he wanted to go with me, and I thought about that because then, I asked Stanley the same question. He come up all this shit about he concerned about me. He didn't even tell me the real feeling,
If he had been concerned about you, he wouldn't have jumped the first woman that could lay down and straddle her legs. Anyone hasn't eaten, please hold your hands so that they can get... Jesus Christ. What do you mean, ask that question?
I just want to say that I'm...
Well, you got a whole long line in here, honey, so you're going to be feeding a while. Shift, please. We're in for a long night's wait.
I just want to say something that taught me was that life is shit. Life is shit. And Dad's been saying it a long time, and any life outside this collective is shit. And what Dad says about relationships is true too. Every bit of what Dad says is true about it. And I'm grateful to him for teaching me, because I'm not getting involved with a relationship. Because I want to die a revolutionary death, and I believe I've been hesitant and afraid, but boy, it looked good. It looked good. It looked good.
Look what you've done to him.
And I don't want to put any guilt on her. It's just the truth. It's what Dad says is true, and it's true. Life is shit except for socialism, and that's all we've got here. And I don't want to get involved in something to sidetrack me.
I think we all need to be reminded that Larry Shack, it's true, he was educated by People's Temple, and he was brought out of, well, his brains were scrambled with drugs when he came here. But the fact is,
He didn't push him.
he didn't push him, and he left an internship at San Francisco General Hospital to come here and take care of the likes of you.
I sure had a lot of regret and guilt to have to bring him, but I knew I couldn't handle this shit alone. It's what bothers me. He says it's shit outside of socialism, and we got some of the goddamn shit right here with us. That's what... You can't get away from that fucking shit. That's why I'd like to die. You can't get away from the fucking shit. You carry it with you, no matter how much you try to teach, no matter how much of an example you live, no matter how much you burn your life out, night after day, day after night, lay up here in a stroke. Then you, goddamn it, it hurts. I wish I could cry and be healthier. It hurts that I didn't have to talk to you about this goddamn miserable shit.
Janice, the first thing you should have done when you found out about was kick him out the house. You didn't have to be living up there with him. And you should have took a stronger stand a long time ago. But even back in San Francisco, you up there going crazy over Stanley. When you left, you get ready to leave. You all sad because Stanley's not going. But look what he's doing to you. He don't even give a damn about you. But you always worry about him. One, dress up for him. Comb your hair for him and everything. But he didn't care. He don't care a damn thing about you. And I don't see why you can't grow up and learn that he don't care anything about you instead of keeping all this shit off of him.
It's one thing, Stanley, we were on the bus. Stanley cussed this girl out from San Francisco to New York City. He cussed her out from San Francisco to New York. And she should have quit his ass then. And I'm so sick and tired of these women. They run around, they say, if we had an opportunity to be free, we'd get rid of these motherfuckers. They got an opportunity to be free of their ass, and they still come all the way over here to Jonestown. I'm so mad about this shit. They want to be free. They talk that shit. If I could get rid of this sucker, I wouldn't have another man as long as I live. You hear that every day of your life. As soon as they have an opportunity to be free, they worried about who's fucking who. And this girl, it's ridiculous, because I've heard Stanley talk to her like a dog every time I ever seen them together. And she just continuously go along with this shit. Well, she doesn't deserve any better than Stanley, because a lot of women don't want to even live unless the sucker got their foot up their ass. And if that's what she wants, then he should stick his foot up her ass, because she let him do this
While I
shit to
cut
her
his
the whole
throat.
time.
Bib's ass, if you want to be a slave to him, which you don't, you apparently. But I don't know. What happened to you the other night when I was in agony here? What was going on? Will you tell me what was going on when it was obvious that I couldn't see? You had to lead me away. I didn't let you people. I was blind when I left this meeting. I didn't know what I'd ever see again. But did I let you people worry about it? I went over and talked to the doctor. Anybody had sense to see, I couldn't see. The blood, the small stroke that affected the capillaries, that affected the eyes, or whatever the doctor could explain, but I couldn't see. God damn it, pouring out my soul to try to educate people like this. Never raised my emotion, never raised my voice, I could not see. And you people still put this shit on me. No sooner than that one meeting ends, another one begins.
I want to say Dad couldn't see a thing. He was up here and he couldn't even see somebody's face right here, and he was asking about how they looked, how they responded to their criticism, to their public criticism. He couldn't even see their face, and he was concerned to see how they took it, to see how well they responded to it, see if it helped him. He couldn't see at all, and he wasn't able to see. And then later that night he had convulsions. He had 3 convulsions. He didn't bother you with that. He said, I'm taking care of business, I'm reading reports. That's what he said, to make you feel okay. But he was having seizures during that time.
I was trying to analyze myself the past week, and I come to realize, not just tonight, but I've been realizing how stupid I have been, because one thing, I don't have no respect for myself. That is obvious. I don't have no damn respect for myself.
You better get some done.
Because, okay.
I don't know why.
Very,
I know
you are very intelligent. You are very attractive. I don't know why you don't have a good image of yourself. I just don't know why.
I don't think Janice really wanted a good image of herself.
What I'm talking about is like, I know I didn't give a damn about who he's fucking around with. It's just that.
One of the medical people gets sphygmomanometer too, so I can test the blood pressure again, just to be sure. Go ahead, Marcel. Go ahead. Let the doctor stand there. He's involved in it. That's fine.
I didn't give a damn who he fucked with, but for some stupid reason, I thought that, I could talk to him and make him change,
Always I hear you women do that. Always I hear this. Every goddamn woman can make the man change. I don't know where the hell this is.
How long you been with Stanley? Janice, how long you been with Stanley?
1.5 years.
You ain't changed yet. You can't make him change his goddamn no.
Because, I don't know, I'm going to be honest, for some okay, like when I was in a counseling session back in June, I can't remember which counselor it was, but somebody said that that I could change him if I get my shit together. That's what somebody.
Shit together.
Yeah, I see that.
Will you women write this down if we live through this white night so they can deal with this shit of why women think that they can make men change? I do not know.
This is just generally to all women who think that your situation is different. A lot of women think that their so-called boyfriend or whatever you want to call it really cares about you. But you stop fucking them, and then you see how long they stay around.
Or fuck them and somebody else, or don't baby them, or don't take care of their shit and don't put up with their dirt, and you do your lion's share of the load of the work. Even fucking them isn't enough. You got to be fucked over.
The reason you think...
You didn't say many amens to that, but you gotta be willing to be fucked over. The only good relationships I've ever seen around these places where there really wasn't any fucking going on, but a mutual sharing of the work.
The reason you think you can change Stanley is you haven't admitted that you're a zero personality. You think you're better than the rest of us. None of the rest of us has ever changed a man. A man has to change himself.
Okay.
Well, Liz Taylor had somebody leave her. Marilyn Monroe had somebody leave her. Marilyn Monroe wanted to be Senator Kennedy, or President Kennedy. He didn't break up his relationship for Marilyn Monroe, body beautiful. Ethel Waters, not Ethel Waters, that's Lena Horne, most beautiful woman. That man broke her heart. Most beautiful black woman ever come down the track. What does it matter, you dumb people? Yeah, you think you're going to change.
What happens? Men try to make you over the way they want you. And then they don't want you. And then they don't want what they made.
Obviously, however fragrant your vagina was, it didn't last. The fragrance, no sooner than he got out, he lost the smell of your vagina.
I have to say,
Janice, I'd like to say to you that you will know that Stanley was dressed up in a nice pink shirt and some striped overalls and was gritted and showing all 79 or 89 or whatever of his teeth. He was so goddamn happy to be rid of you.
She's telling the truth.
That's right.
Pimping and all cleaning up. I can tell when they're going to town. I'm ready to die. I'm so sick of seeing you people act like a bunch of chickens. Chickens could do better. Chickens have got more loyalty and dogs got more loyalty than some of the shit I see going on.
Dad, if I wouldn't known but all the shit he was getting to, like drugs and stuff, I would never looked at him.
Okay, we'll give you the credits of it, but I'm not sure about that, honey, because a whole lot of folks sitting here with folks that pushed him.
I mean, 'cause I thought, he would. I thought he was, I know he's doing it slowly, but I thought he was, starting to do something.
Better listen out there, because I don't want to drag your ass up here for this matter. This is going down a matter of public record and being recorded. I do not want, so we can replay it and listen to ourselves. I'm damn tired of this, going through white nights. There'll be one I won't go through, because I'm tired of having to repeat the same damn message. The same people get up and try to give you the same truth, and the goddamn truth is so plain as a nose on your face, and the son of a bitch, the next meeting somebody repeats the same shit. And I want to correct that thing, and I know because I got a lot of good report. I heard Debbie talking about the revolutionary women in history last night, Debbie Jensen. And I listened. The men ought to hear it. You ought to pipe his shit out and let them hear it, because there's some very good stuff come out of there. But one thing I would take difference with, even if you fuck him, it don't do no good, because you were fucking him and he didn't stay true to you hours. You weren't gone hours till he was fucking somebody else. And he'd have fucked anybody else he could got. He just found somebody easy he could get. Easiest piece he could get, he thought. That's what he said. So if there'd have been 15 more, he'd have done it. And he could find somebody to take a little more of his shit right now, he'd dump you for another relationship. There ain't nobody in line for Stanley right now.
Well, it's plain as nose in your face. The man's homosexual. He said he couldn't stand where he was fucking either. Can't stand you, can't stand the other woman. He can't stand any woman.
That I would, just like you said, I thought I
You're
was...
fucked and ready to vomit. That's very strange. Eyes closed and ready to vomit and fucking. How are you doing it? I bet you got a gray. If you got one bigger than you, and that wouldn't have to be too hard. And he softly shoved it up your ass and touched your prostate. Baby, you wouldn't vomit. As if you were all that ignorant about it anyway. It'll take another 3 weeks, so I'm not interested in your sexual life. But it'd be interesting to hear about all sides of your sexual life, Stanley. Of course, that's a long story. It usually takes about 2 years for a man to get honest about the men he's been with. Because I've had to do it, baby. I've had to do it. Great big football players where it opened up a door. Great big bucks of men that'd be twice in size and body. And when I've had to do it, and everybody did it. I know nothing about it. Nobody's ever been up mine, but I've sure been up them to open doors for this place. And I've opened doors of men that was twice your size, and they oohed and awed and And you shit, you ain't done to this shit. You know this shit. I don't need to talk to somebody, those street men like you. You know about men. Yeah, I thought so.
I indulge with homosexuality. I mean, I know.
He said he's indulged in homosexuality, and that's it. That's it. I don't want to hear no more of this shit. I've had to go too much of it. Okay, that's good. I'm proud of you, Stanley, for not fucking around and hedging on that one. He said he'd been a homosexual. Been an active one, not like some of you, I think I'm a I've got homosexual feelings, or I'm latent. You were laden, you mean. You were laid. That's what you should say. I'm a laid homosexual. Ready and willing. I don't give a goddamn about that. What gets me so sick is to see people use people. I don't care whether they're homosexual. And I've said it over and again. That would be it. Not now. I'm in a white knight, but I have a hell of a sex drive, and it's all oriented to women. But I wish that if women had the proper pride, they ought to. They ought to all become a legion of Amazonas and lesbians, and never take a look at one of us. They only then would they be capable of fighting a revolution, because they go crazy every time they get around a man. All right, that's right. I don't give a shit whether you like or not. It's true. You all go crazy every time you get around a man. Unless the man develops the feminine and the masculine, and there's a perfect matching of compatibility and weighing of responsibilities and sharing of intellect. I'd have to see such a case. I haven't seen it going around here. All I see is moony-eyed bullshit. So hope for maybe the young. Hope so. Who in the hell wouldn't be ready for a white knight? Only I'd like for one to come and not pass.
That I think the reason why I was stupid enough to fall into this thing was
John
because,
can come back now.
was because
Dana can come back now. Did you understand what I was going to do with Dana and John? Would you do it? And Dorothy Buckley was going to go. She offered to go help me. That little girl wrote up that. That's very sweet. Very sweet. Very sweet. Well, I know a lot of you feel that way, but there's some fuckers here that wants their way out, and they might as well make up their mind tonight what to do, because we've got serious shit to deal with, more than this shit. Because we're waiting for some feedback, step by step.
I'll tell you one thing, if you're counting on me letting you out, forget it. Okay?
If I go, then I know security won't let you out. I can't, there's no chance now. I can't take Dana and John. I wouldn't trust nobody else to do it like I do it. I'll be very frank. I can't get them through the airlines because they've got the immigration set up so that the minute they see their cards and mine, it'd be difficulty. There's that much difficulty right now we're facing. Please turn that mother off. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead. Can't you do it? Ask if they can't do something about cutting that down a little bit so it don't bleed through here. You have exactly 2 hours and 15 minutes of practice, you people, before you hit the news.
I also wanted to say over the loudspeaker, I would kill you before I'd let you hurt one of them too. And I want you to know it.
Give me feedback on how all those people are doing, feedback on all the dealings with the various ministers, and find out who in the hell, where the hell the head is. I think there should be a clandestine meeting with Coleman, the opposition. Jagan, I think that ought to be suggested. Secret meeting. I think not necessarily in immediate order, but I think we ought to talk to the Soviets about that. You hear me in there? The Soviets has to be the only secure place to do it. Have him come in a goddamn embassy. Meet him there. What the fuck's going on? I want to know why he threw all those papers on the floor and walked out of there. I hope they're starting a revolution. You break my heart. You break my heart. I've quit crying though. You people broke my heart till I can't cry no more. It's unhealthy. I'd probably have a better blood pressure. Step up here. Marson. Get some of this tension out instead of internal.
Okay, put it down. Okay, I want every sister in here to listen to this. I was stupid enough to think that, you know, he might have some concern. I was trying to grow, but the only reason why he was even...
Shut up out there!
The only time, like, if I, you know, had talked him into doing something right, the only reason why he would do it is because he thought he was going to get something back. But otherwise, he is not.
They have to do that. There's no way they can. If you can correct that, please do. That bleeding in all electronic people here. But if you can't, go ahead. They got to make that call. They're in a son of a bitchin' mess on 2 fronts. 3 fronts, counting Washington.
But I see that he not even committed to the cause, because the only way I could ever get him to do anything was to, you know, talk him into doing it, or giving up something. And if he was really committed to this cause and to freedom and trying to help other people who have been out pushing drugs, and I wouldn't have never had to give up nothing to get him to go to work or to get a right kind of attitude or even to listen to the news. That's the only way he ever did anything. Because I had to give us something and it wasn't even worth it.
Give me some news right now, Stanley. Same old smile. I've seen it for 9 months. What are we standing here for? What's happening now, Stanley? I bet you know a little bit now what's happening because your ass is on the line.
Yes, Dad. What's happening now is, well, I couldn't hear it too well back there. I was trying to keep up with it. I was working in the kitchen, but from what I heard, that we're having a white night because of the enemies, or the cops and Liz Armin and those, so are walking around our building, the building in San Francisco, with some type of paper or something, protesting something, talking about
Is that all you got this for, Stanley?